Welcome to Norway, where adventure awaits around every fjord bend. Norway is a country located in northern Europe in the northern and western parts of the Scandinavian peninsula. The majority of the country borders water. Norway has a population of 5.5 million. It has a land border with Sweden to the east. To the northeast, it has a shorter border with Finland and an even shorter border with Russia. Norway has an elongated shape, one of the longest and most rugged coastlines in the world, and many islands off its much-indented coastline. It is one of the world's northernmost countries, and it is one of Europe's most mountainous countries. The sea filled many of these valleys, creating Norway's famous fjords. Pre-industrial revolution Norway was the poorest of the three Scandinavian kingdoms, the others being Denmark and Sweden, during the Viking Age. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, Norway's economy was largely based on agriculture, timber, and fishing. Norwegians typically lived under conditions of considerable scarcity, though famine was rare. Except for certain fertile areas in Hedmarken and Østfold, crops were limited to hardy grains such as oats, rye, and barley, and livestock to sheep, goats, cattle, pigs, and some poultry. In places this was complemented with hunting. The introduction of the potato to Norway, promoted by practical priests and the King Christian VII in Copenhagen in the 18th century, provided considerable relief and became common food for Norwegians. Self-owning farmers were, and continue to be, the main unit of work in Norwegian agriculture, but leading up to the 19th century, farmers ran out of land available for farming. Many agricultural families were reduced to poverty as tenant farmers and served as the impetus for emigration to North America. Norway, after Ireland, became the country losing the most people to this emigration in percentage relative to its population. During the Industrial Revolution, aside from mining in Kongsberg, Røros, and Laken, industrialization came with the first textile mills that were built in Norway in the middle of the 19th century. Current economic status. Norway is a large energy producer and one of the world's largest exporters of oil. Most of the electricity in the country is produced by hydroelectricity. Norway is one of the leading countries in the electrification of its transport sector, with the largest fleet of electric vehicles per capita in the world. Since the discovery of North Sea oil in Norwegian waters during the late 1960s, exports of oil and gas have become very important elements of the economy of Norway. 2% of the world's oil consumption is produced by Norway, making it the 15th largest oil producer in the world in 2019. Not all is rainbows and sunshine, though. In a 2018 report from the International Energy Agency, the fossil fuel industry in Norway may face various challenges in the future. New sources of energy and methods of production like shale and hydraulic fracturing, commonly known as fracking, may substitute oil and gas. Renewable energy also poses a large risk to reducing fossil fuel production and deployment of new technologies. A new generation of people in the workforce may also lead oil producers to face backlash. Electricity generation in Norway is almost entirely from hydroelectric power plants. Despite producing the majority of its electricity from hydroelectric plants, Norway is ranked 30th in the 2008 list of countries by carbon dioxide emissions per capita and 37th in the 2004 list of countries by ratio of GDP to carbon dioxide emissions. Food. Norway's food traditions show the influence of sea farming and farming the land, traditions with salmon, herring, trout, cod, and other seafood, balanced by cheese, dairy products, and breads. Lefse is a common Norwegian wheat or potato flatbread eaten around Christmas. Typical Norwegian dishes include rakfisk, smalahove, pinnekjøtt, kroppkake, kamp, also called raspeball, and fårikål. Physical culture is important in Norway. With abundant forests and mountain plateaus and extensive coastal areas and rivers, Norway has a natural environment which encourages outdoor sports, inclusive of hiking. Many Norwegians own ski equipment and are active in mountain touring. Celebrations and holidays. Norwegians celebrate their national day on May 17th, dedicated to the Constitution of Norway. Many people wear bunad and most participate in or watch the Norwegian Constitution Day parade, consisting mostly of children, through the cities and towns. The national romanticist author Henrik Wergeland was the founder of 17 May Parade. Jonsok, St. John's Passing, or St. Hans, St. John's Day in June is also celebrated. Common Christian holidays are also celebrated, the most important being Christmas, called July or Joel.